Do you have a newer Chevy Silverado HD with stock headlights? Well, here at Morimoto Lighting, we have the perfect upgrade for you, and it's the new XB Hybrid headlights. Now, the Morimoto XB Hybrid is a complete OEM housing replacement. So instead of having those dingy low beam and high beam halogen reflector headlights, the Morimoto XB gives you a nice LED projector. There's one for low beam and one for high beam. Even though this is the Morimoto XB Hybrid, it still has a fully functional DRL, just like the Morimoto XB. The DRL is extremely bright during the day, and when you turn your low beams or high beam on, it actually dims down about 50%. Now, the major difference between these and our top-of-the-line XB headlights is that the turn signals you'll actually take out of your stock headlight and put into your hybrid. And I'll show you guys how to do that here in a little bit. So with the headlights turned off, you'll notice a nice dark gray housing color on the inside, giving it a nice new modern aggressive look for the front end of your truck, and so much better than those chrome reflectors like you used to have. Now, the XB Hybrid headlights do not have a startup sequence, so if you are looking for that feature, maybe the XB headlights is the headlight for you. All right, now that you know all about the features of the hybrid headlights, let's get into the light outputs. The way we do our testing to find out how bright or how dim a headlight is by using a digital lux meter. This measures actual usable brightness at a certain point. This is way better than measuring lumens when comparing headlights. At 25 feet from the wall, we have measured the stock halogen lights. For your stock halogen low beam, they come in at 420 maximum lux. Now, compared to the XB Hybrid low beams, they come at 880 maximum lux, meaning that is a 109% difference in light increase. And as you can tell, between the stock halogen and the XB Hybrid, the cutoff line is extremely crispy, has a very modern light output, and a very wide beam pattern as well, making it a lot safer at night when driving. Now, with your stock halogen high beams, they come in at 1,060 maximum lux. Now, compared to the XB Hybrid high beams, they come in at a remarkable 2,420 maximum lux. That is a 128% increase in light output. Now, as you see in the difference between your stock halogen high beams and the XB Hybrid, the light output is extremely different. You have a way wider beam pattern. You have a very distinct light output, which allows you to have a lot more visibility and distance when driving at night. And one of the coolest parts, guys, is that the install is pretty easy. So let's get straight into that. So these are the tools that you'll be using for this install. A Phillips to adjust your headlight, a flathead screwdriver, a pry tool of your choice, a T15, a T20, needle nose pliers, a 10mm socket, a 7mm socket, T15 Torx, an extension, a ratchet of your choice, and some extra pry tools. First things first, go ahead and pop the hood. All right, now with the hood pop, guys, there's gonna be 9 plastic push tabs that you'll be taking up and out. Just use a pry tool and get those out. Now with all those plastic tabs out, you're gonna get a T15 and remove these 2 screws to go ahead and release this plastic lever. Now with all those plastic tabs up and out of the way and that plastic lever, just go ahead and pull up on your plastic shroud, just like so, and set it aside. All right, now with that shroud out of the way, it's gonna expose these 4 10mm bolts on the top of your grill. Go ahead and just remove those. Now with all those out, we're gonna go ahead and move down to the fender well. All right, now that we're down here by the fender well, what we're gonna do is take this liner and get it out of the way. So there's gonna be 6 T15 screws that you have to remove. 3 of them will be alongside your fender area, 2 will be at the very base of it, and 1 in the center. And at the very top of the fender, there is one plastic clip. Just take that out and remove it. All right, now with those clips out of the way, you can go ahead and pull your fender liner back just like so, allowing you to get access to those clips on the back side of this plastic trim piece. And also there is one 7mm bolt we'll be removing. Now with that out of the way, you can just go ahead and pry on this black plastic trim piece. Just be very careful because you are working with plastic. And if you are having trouble with these clips, you can pinch on the very back side of these, helping it release it from the clip. All right, now with this trim piece loose, it is going to expose that one 7mm bolt that you have to take out. So next up, what we're going to do is remove this body panel. There's going to be 3 clips on the very top of this, and then also 4 clips on the back side of this. Once we get it up and off, I'll show you guys exactly where those are at. Now just start by prying on the very bottom, and then move up to the very top of the panel. All right, now with those clips out, we're gonna go ahead and move to the very front and then pull on these clips as well, releasing the full body panel. Now on the very bottom, there is a rubber lip. Just keep that in mind when taking it out and just set this aside. And do the same exact thing to the other side. Now go ahead and just start prying on the very top of the grill, releasing it from the few clips on the very top. And then using a very long flathead screwdriver, just go in the very center, and there's gonna be a clip right here that you have to release off. There's also one clip in the very center at the very bottom. Just pry at the very bottom of the grill and you'll hear it release. And then work your way along the very bottom and the sides and do the exact same thing. Now at the lower corners of your grill, there's gonna be 2 10mm bolts that you need to remove. Now go ahead and do the side ones as well. Now, if you have a camera in the grill, go ahead and unplug that so you can remove the grill. Now just go ahead and pull it away and set it aside. All right, now with the grill out, as you notice on your stock headlights, there's these 2 plastic brackets. What you're gonna do is remove those and transfer those over to your new XB headlights. In doing so, you'll be using a T20 to remove those. And do the exact same thing on the other side. All right, now with those brackets off, it's time to go ahead and take out the stock headlight. And doing so, there's 2 10mm screws up top, 2 on the inside, and also 2 on the outside. Starting on the side, there's gonna be 2 10mm bolts. And then remove the 2 in the center from the front. And lastly, 2 on the very top. And using a pry tool, there's a small clip right here. All you have to do is pry up on it, just like so, releasing it from that small hole that it's in. Now with all those removed, you can go ahead and gently pull on your headlight and then disconnect it. Now you only have one connection for this headlight. All you have to do is pull out this little plastic piece right here and then disconnect the main connector. Now just pull this little red tab out and then push this tab down and disconnect it. Once it's disconnected, just go ahead and set the headlight aside. Now do the same thing to the other side. Now before installing your new XB headlights, we need to go ahead and install your new DRL harness. In doing so, what you're gonna do is tap this into your fuse box and then run these 2 connectors down to your passenger and driver headlight. Let me go ahead and show you how to do that. Now go ahead and just lift the fuse lid up and off. Now go ahead and locate slot 40. This is where you're gonna be installing your fuse tap. Go ahead and take your needle nose and remove this fuse out of the way. Now take your fuse tap and put it in its place. And take your lid and close it back down. So now with the connectors, there's going to be a shorter lead and a longer lead. With the shorter lead, you're going to run this and then pull it through. And with the longer lead, you're going to run it all the way over to the passenger headlight and then connect it to the passenger headlight as well. And we can just zip tie all of this up here in a bit. So before the install, there's one last piece that you have to transfer over to your XB headlight. It's this plastic bracket right here. There's two T20 screws that you have to take out and then transfer over. Now go ahead and transfer it to the bottom of your new XB hybrid headlight. All right, now with your stock headlight out, remember with the XB hybrid headlight, you have to take the incandescent turn signal bulb out. All you have to do is turn on this little clip right here, and the bulb comes straight out. Now remember, you can also upgrade this bulb to an LED bulb off of morimotolighting.com. Alrighty guys, now for the fun part, installing your XB headlights. Now remember guys, we're gonna have to install that incandescent bulb. Now all you have to do is twist this plug, just like so, and then pull straight out. And then take that OEM bulb, or the upgraded LED bulb, and just plug it in place. And then just stick it back into the hole. Now with that bulb transferred over, go ahead and plug everything in. First thing, starting with the main connector. And then the DRL. Now with everything plugged in, you can just push the headlight back into place. All right, now with the headlight in place, go ahead and take those two plastic brackets that we took off of your stock headlight. You're gonna line them up onto your XB hybrid headlight, and then we're gonna tighten these down. Keep in mind guys, tighten these down with hand tools only due to the fact that you're working with plastic and you don't want to break anything. When tightening these down, you'll be using a T20. Now with that done, do the exact same thing on the opposite side. Then make sure to test out all your functions, and if everything works, go ahead and button everything back up and you're good to go. And just like that, guys, your new headlights have been installed. If you want to find out what all of our products we have for your Chevy Silverado HD, just head over to our website at morimotolighting.com, put your year, make, and model, and we'll catch you guys over there.